Hey, welcome to JM Unleashed. Good to see everybody in the live chat here. With the rise in the precious metals prices, the surge that we've seen in the last, especially the last year or so, and specifically in silver, I thought it was a good time to kind of do a stop check. We're right around $75 silver right now. We'll zoom in on that in a second. And I'm hearing wild reports of, like the possibility of $200, $300 silver. And now I'm starting to hear reports that it may drop way back, like even below 50. So now that we're right around 77, we'll take that off of there for a second, and we'll zoom right in on that. There you go. So you can see where um, silver price is currently $77.26. These are just monthly candles, but I wanted to be able to scroll down here so you can see the time frame and the run that we've had. So this is going from just probably actually 2019 to current, and we've seen the price go really from in the $13 range to $84 in a very short period of time. And so the people that are saying it may drop down to 50, that's a pretty big hit from here, but I do think it's possible. I don't really think it's likely. Okay, so let's go to this other one. And so here we've got the silver futures at 76.91 and gold at 44.80. Okay, so that's a little bit of a thing on that. But so the like I think everybody's already heard the estimations that we're going to be going to 100, 200, $300 silver. And I think it's possible. It's a question of when. But I wanted to focus on this one report that I got saying it's actually going below 50. And so I just wanted you guys to be aware of it. And I'll bring that one up right now. Yeah, I was checking out some of the comments there. So this is coming from Kitco. I'm actually going to drop the link of this in the chat so you guys can pick that up if you want. You can read along. Oh, I didn't share that one? Hold on. There we go. Got to make sure we're sharing the right thing. Okay, so this article comes from Kitco, and it was published. Oh, and by the way, right now it is January 8th, 2026, 9:33 p.m. This article was published by Niels Christensen January 7th at 3:36 p.m. Sorry, 3:35. And really, really interesting article. Look at this. TDS, which is TD Securities, which originally was, Toronto Dominion Bank. Most people just know them by TD. It's not Trump derangement syndrome. So this is headlining that TD Securities takes another swing at shorting silver. So I know there's been this AI Asian guy, that's been coming out with some misinformation too. And hey, Crafty Stacker, Snooks. Oh, we can put this back on, I think, for a minute. Yeah, good to see everyone. Um, and there's been rumors, that there's, people just wanting to um, get stackers to sell and get people to give up their precious metals. But so this is one article that I found. It's actually from a reputable spot. So I'm just going to cover this. Um, I dropped the link in the chat, so you guys can pick that up if you want to read along. I'm going to leave the live chat up there, though. Okay, so this is from Kitco News. It says, with silver unable to hold gains above $80 an ounce, one Canadian bank has taken another crack at the short side of the market, which means they're betting that it's going to drop. On Wednesday, commodity analysts at TD Securities published their latest trade, saying they were shorting silver futures and looking for sharply lower prices within the next 3 months as market fundamentals start to balance out. We've also heard that there's some index funds that are going to be rebalancing, which they do. My understanding is they do that every year. So I kind of feel that is already priced in, but we'll keep going here, and then I've pinned the link if anyone wants to join the panel. We can discuss. So in his latest commodity report, Daniel Gawley, Senior Commodity Strategy at TD Securities, said that he initiated a short position in March silver futures at 78 an ounce. Okay, so that means he's buying options in the future for March, saying that it's going to be a target of 40. So he thinks it's going to drop to $40. That's his target. At the same time, the Canadian bank has a stop loss at 92 an ounce, which means if they're wrong and the price keeps going on up to 92, they'll automatically be stopped out to stop their losses. March silver futures last traded at 77.94 an ounce, down nearly 4% on the day. Just want to make sure I'm not missing anything in the chat here. Hey, Silver Wolverine, how's it going? And Pilgrim, welcome in everybody. Yes, this is an extraordinarily bearish article. I did drop the link for it. It's from Kitco, and it's saying that TD Securities is blatantly, openly shorting the silver market. That's exactly what they say they're doing. Right. So their target is, they think it's going to drop to 40, and if they're wrong and it goes up to 92, then they'll get stopped out. So TD Securities, their short comes as the bank expects to see significant selling pressure in the metal as annual index rebalancing in the new year takes its toll on silver, which saw a nearly 150% gain last year. So that's true. These index funds that have to stick to certain percentages in different asset classes, when one blows through the roof like that, they have to trim that back and rebalance. But at the same time, that also, can provide a buying opportunity for people that didn't get in earlier. And really, if you want to front run that, you could say, well, really, if it was to have a massive impact like that, then they should rebalance back again and be buying low. That's just my opinion. I'm just going to check in with the comments here again. Yeah, we're good. Oh, we've got Deja Vu in the house. Welcome in. 40 would be a great buying opportunity, right? And I think there's people buying all the way down right now. But it does, like, this came to my attention, and it shows that there are, TD's a pretty large institution, and I don't know, I kind of thought it was paid propaganda, but it is an article from a reputable spot. So we'll see what you guys think. He goes on to say, we expect a massive 13% of aggregate open interest in COMEX silver markets to be sold over the coming 2 weeks to result in a dramatic repricing lower. And so that's exactly what he's talking about. So he thinks 13% of the total aggregate is like the total of everything, all converted to single currency, and so they can see exactly what's going on. So they're saying 13% of the total market, I think, is a good way to say it. In the COMEX silver markets will be sold over the coming 2 weeks. Again, I think that can already be priced in, and there's probably people sitting on cash just waiting to pounce. Yeah, so you think it's going to be a dramatic repricing lower. I wouldn't be surprised if we do see a flash crash, but it's not going to be down there for the long haul, in my opinion. Okay, so at the same time, Golly also sees a significant shift in market supply and demand fundamentals. Silver's run to record highs of $84 per ounce last month was driven in part by a significant breakdown in the precious metals physical supply chain. True. A lot of industry now is standing for delivery. They need it in their electronics, in their batteries. Industries using it. Everything electronic has silver in it. Okay. So robust industrial demand drove supply deficits over the last 5 years and has taken its toll on above ground stocks. And with growing investor interest, TD Securities was expecting to see a significant short squeeze in the market. So what they're doing is they're saying, oh, we were expecting it to run up like this, and we took advantage of that, and now we're going to short it. That's my take on that. Just going to check in with the chat here. Make sure I didn't miss anyone. Hey, Gigi, good to see you. And Neil, welcome in. This is a rather bearish article. I did drop the link earlier on it. It's from Kitco, and they're saying TD Securities they're very open about it. They're openly shorting the silver market, and they think it's going to drop to $40, and they've got their stop loss in it. What was it, 82 or 92? Where did it go? I think it was 92. Yeah, 92 is their stop loss, but they're openly shorting it, and they're not hiding it at all. They're saying, yep, that's exactly what we're doing. Where did it go here? Okay, so they're saying they were expecting this short squeeze, and they were expecting the markets to go up like that. However, Golly said the rally is overdone and higher prices are expected to start rebalancing the physical market. He explained that the catalyst for a silver sell-off would be triggered by President Donald Trump's decision on the precious metal's new role as a critical metal. Silver's supply chain issues have been exacerbated by the threat that the U.S. could place tariffs on silver imports. The significant inflows of silver that occurred in the first half of 2025 have largely stayed in the U.S. because of this threat. So we hear China's not going to be exporting their silver. Now it looks like America's trying to hang on to theirs, and it's starting to sound to me like everyone's starting to stockpile the physical. So TD Securities is not expecting silver imports into the U.S. to be tariffed, which, when confirmed, could release a flood of physical metal back into the market. In quotes, we expect no tariffs on silver bars. Scrap and private vaults can continue to replete. London vaults. So I don't know, he kind of seems a little wishy-washy on it here, but like he thinks that the London vaults are going to get replenished. The primary deficit continues to shrink. Listen to the words here. The primary deficit continues to shrink amid demand destruction. Timelines to depletion trend higher. These are the markings of a cycle top, he said. So I think there's a little bit of word magic in there. But he's saying the primary deficit, which he's talking about silver deficit, so supply issues, is continuing to shrink, or I don't know, maybe this is his theory, amid demand destruction. So he's saying there's going to be less demand. But I disagree with that, because I think industrial demand is going to just keep on pumping. It's not stopping. Timelines to depletion trend higher. Right, so he's saying that they're going to have enough stockpiles there's not going to be a shortage, there's not going to be a squeeze, and everything's going to be okay. And so therefore it's going to drop. That's his opinion. Many analysts expect silver not to be tariffed, as a consumption tax could devastate the U.S. manufacturing sector. U.S. silver production cannot meet domestic consumption, and it is unlikely the market will see a material increase in supply. So this paragraph contradicts the other paragraph. See that? Here he's saying everything's going to be okay, and here it's saying U.S. silver production cannot meet domestic consumption, and it's unlikely the market will see a material increase in supply. So here he's saying it's going to be tight, and here he's saying it's going to be loose. So I don't know what's up with that, but that's in the article. And so this can be getting out, and I think people can be misconstruing it or misinterpreting it. I think the main push of it is that TD Securities has come out and said they're shorting the market. And the final paragraph in here, this will be TD Securities' second attempt at shorting silver. The bank initiated a short position in October as prices were breaking above 50. However, it exited the trade with a nearly $2.4 million loss. And I bet you the loss on it was a lot higher than that. I was going through the comments here. I'm not going to read through them unless you want me to. I'm going to drop the link for this one more time, just to make sure anyone that wants to read that on their own can. Hey, Space Miner, good to see you. Welcome in. Yeah, that article that I just dropped is extraordinarily bearish on silver, talking about TD Securities openly indicating that they're short in the silver market, and their target on their short is $40. And I think they said their stop loss is 92. Wild. So that was pretty much it that I had on that. I did drop that link again. Good. Right now, silver's trading at $77.10 US. I still got it on the monthly candles there. Let's put it on 2-hour candles for a minute, and we'll just zoom out just so we can see where we're at on the longer time frame. So there's year to date. So far this year, it's been trading in the range of 72 to 82 and change, and we're at 77.15 right now. There are also tons of articles, and I think good YouTube channels that are also very, very bullish on it. And I think that that's what we're going to see. I think we're going to see extraordinary volatility, kind of like we've seen in the past. Hey, Scrog. And I think it's going to be the same old game. They try to keep the markets down, but physical demand over time is going to outstrip the physical supply. So there you go. Anyone that wants to join the panel is welcome to. If you want to discuss anything on that, or if you got any questions, very cool. Space Miner asks, you got a game plan for the year, or are you winging it? I do have a game plan. It's kind of like a hybrid plan. So I'm like 20 to 30% winging it, and the balance trying to stay focused. Good question, though. Good question. Okay, let's end this poll. Let's see where this poll's at. Ended up 50. There you go. You guys should be able to see that poll. 40% of people thinks we're going to see $100 silver first, and 13% of the people think we'll see $50 silver first. But the top was a range. The majority of people thought we'd see a range of 50 to 100. Okay, let's see. I know I heard someone's in the back here. Let's see if we can bring Neil in. Hey Neil, how's it going?
Howdy, howdy. How's my audio this time?
I can hear you. I've got mine turned way down, so you seemed a little bit quiet. But I can hear you.
That's the important thing.
Yeah. No, you sound good. If people in chat want to just let us know if our audio is balanced, that would be very cool. How are you doing, Neil?
I'm doing well. Actually, ironwork is picking up this year. And as I've always said, it's an indicator of future events.
Yep.
So ironwork is picking up. That means things are going to get better for the working person. I don't know what stocks are going to do, but our work's looking good for this year as far as ironwork goes. And it hasn't looked this good in 5 years.
Yeah, they're pumping money into infrastructure.
Yeah, that $8.6 trillion that I've been talking about that's getting into the economy, people expect it to happen overnight and those businesses to be open and hiring. But it takes a lot of paperwork because you got to deal with lawyers, insurance, local county and city ordinances. And so just because the money's there doesn't mean the project's going to start that day. And a lot of people seem to have that mentality. But that 8.6, I see it starting to work in building, in the building trades. It's starting to come right now.
Yep, that's good. It'd be nice to see big boosts in manufacturing too. Hey, we've got
Boy, howdy.
Junk Silver and 79 in the house. Welcome in. Sorry, no, go ahead.
I just did a video, Muir Island here, a couple blocks away from my house, and across the Napa River, there's Muir Island. It just got closed down, and over a private company had it. They just closed it down. So there's no more ships being retrofitted there. And the Shipbuilding Act just got passed. That leads me to believe that maybe the federal government will be throwing money at it and revamping it up. Because it used to be a submarine base where we built subs.
I sometimes wonder if they just relocate it to a more, a less obvious place.
That's quite possible, but Alameda already shut down, and that was the naval base in Oakland in the Bay Area. And now the last military-esque style port just closed in the Bay Area of California. So West Coast is becoming rather sparse with military. Not a good thing.
No.
In my opinion.
Yeah, that is a bit of an economic indicator.
Yes, it is. But it is also what it is. A lot of buildings going on in the Gulf of America. I did a report on a new company building the infrastructure for a whole new boat building industry docking system. They're building the infrastructure for their own company, but also building further for other companies that will eventually be down there as well. And they've already expanded the Mobile, Alabama shipbuilding. It was expanded years ago. So there's a lot of shipbuilding being pushed in the panhandle of the Gulf of America. I imagine Texas is probably getting a lot of shipbuilding going on too at Corpus Christi. I haven't heard anything, but I know that Pascagoula, Mississippi, and Alabama are getting a lot of boosts federally for shipbuilding.
It's good. Like, I know the way that they've been building them, they last for a long time, and they build them so that they can be reconfigured, as new technology comes out.
Yeah, they're more modular nowadays than ever.
Yeah.
You can bring that sucker back in a dry dock after 2 years, take out a couple components, put in an all new one. You got a brand new boat, tenth of the cost.
I wonder how much silver is in like an aircraft carrier.
Oh, I'm sure there's a lot. There's electronics in there, a lot of high tech electronics. I'm sure it uses silver,
Hmm.
but it's a good waste of silver. As a matter of fact, I don't even see it as a waste. I see that as an investment because if we don't have our military, someone else takes us over. Then who gives a fuck what the price of silver is? Because we're no longer in charge. Someone else will tell us what it is after they take it from us. Yes.
What did you think about that article that I read?
What, where, when, why?
Did you hear me reading the article?
No, sorry.
Oh, you got here too late.
Probably. I
It
got
was
here. I think you were like 8 or 9 minutes in.
okay. Yeah, it was about TD Securities reporting that they're shorting the silver market, and
Oh, sweet.
their yeah their target price is 40 bucks, and their stop loss is, what did we say, 92? If it goes the wrong way.
I can see it bouncing between 50 and 70 for a while.
Yeah,
But
it's tough to know.
my position is it doesn't matter what the price is. I'm by next week, by the end of this month, I'll definitely be started in my niche business, and it's going to allow me to get rid of both silver and gold, no matter the price. So I don't care really about the price because of my approach to it is not the same as everyone else's, but the results will be a lot better.
Nice. I know, like jewelry right now, a lot of people that were
Oh,
finding
yeah.
gold jewelry to be too expensive have been buying silver the last, couple
Yep.
of years, and so now that's proved to be uh,
And you at least 300% your money on it. So you can take 1 ounce of silver, turn it into jewelry. The ounce costs you, for simplicity, say 100. Ounce costs you 100. You can get 300 just for the silver, plus your time, energy, and effort making the piece.
yeah.
So for every ounce you use, you're going to get paid 3 plus your time. So that's just bank. You could easily get a couple 100 ounces of silver in a year, no matter the cost of silver, for free.
I think 79 got here too late for the poll.
It figures. She's
Poll.
probably fucking lost like most elephants in the wood.
But I'm gonna guess that she wouldn't have been able to participate in it anyway, because it was about, is it gonna go to 100, or is it going to go to 50 first, or is it just going to trade, between 50 and 100? And I think the option that she would have wanted would be it's going to 0.
Probably.
Hey Nan Double X, greetings, welcome in. I already went through an article earlier for anyone that's just got here. I did it right off the bat at the very beginning. Very bearish article. It was from Kitco with a TD Securities analyst saying he's shorting the silver market.
Well, one good thing if they do that, it's not affecting copper. Copper really hasn't done anything. It only has been up, I believe, 39%. Really not even a move comparatively to the precious metals. But the use case for it, and it just got listed on the critical minerals list, suggests that it might have a good run coming, no matter what's happening with silver. So if you see a possibility of silver going sideways for a while and you don't want to invest in it because of price fluctuations, look at copper. It's a lot cheaper and it still has a lot of upside, especially since it was just listed as a critical mineral.
Yeah, I think copper's got tons of upside too, but for anyone that's listening here, make sure you're really careful. Don't just be going and buying the copper bullion unless you're buying it on the cheap. You know what I mean? Like
Don't
around
listen to anything I say.
which right now is, it's like 40 cents. It's around 40 cents an ounce for copper. And I know a lot of people are paying like $2 because they want to stock up on it. But other than
Unless you're
gold, I
into the
wouldn't do it that way. You're better off getting scrap copper.
unless you're into numismatic and you like the artwork.
Yeah, there's that.
And I've got actually, I'm gonna go ahead.
ETF. That would be like copper ETF would actually be a decent idea, I think.
Let me see here.
Especially for anyone that's tight on storage space. A lot of people say silver's too bulky, so try to get $1 million in silver. Here. Oh, wrong one. Hold on.
A beautiful coin, beautiful artwork, intricate.
It's nicely polished too. It's shiny.
Yeah, I mean, it's got a majority of the qualities you look for other than monetary, because this is not a monetary metal. But other than monetary, you can even see the lights in the background behind me. So it's got the sheen or shine of silver. You get great design out of it. I mean, that's a nice looking design. By the way, this is a 999 silver fine, as you can see. And on the other side of here, it says it's a COVID coin. And I've got to get another coin out here to read it and still hold this one up. Right now, the screen's backwards for me. But it says, okay, what's it say? Hold on here. It says COVID-19 molecule stockpile antimicrobial copper. And it's printed on the coin. It says that. It said COVID-19 molecule, and that's what the picture is of this. It's the COVID-19 molecule. And it says stockpile antimicrobial copper.
Sure.
And I just got and I got it. Obviously, it was in 2020. I was like, oh my god, they're blatantly telling us, it's a bunch of crap. But
Yeah.
so I got a whole bunch of these
Stuff like that, and the other, like, there's some really cool designs on there. If you're with a bunch of buddies playing poker or something like that, people,
poker. You play with these ones.
for them.
This is just a 1 ounce bar. That's what I play poker with. But anyhow, I wanted to show people this. I mean, I think copper's got beautiful artwork. That's all.
Oh yeah, there's some great designs and lots of like duplicates.
Yeah, and it's a cheaper collectible for poor people. I can't collect silver collectibles. That's too expensive. I mean, they got silver coins out there worth fucking $80, $120 for one coin. I mean, that's nice artwork and all, but that's expensive. Oh, by the way, that picture there, on my show, I was talking about a Texas billionaire I met while I was up in the Napa area. The apiary, at the time the two brothers were alive, they were worth like $7.5 billion and owned 1,800 acres along the Napa River. And I frequently spoke with them. And they were like such down-to-earth farmer type gentlemen I knew. And both of them were worth like $3.5 billion. They were in their 90s, so they've obviously been dead, because that's like a 12-year-old picture. And that's how I learned about inheritance and how to spread your wealth and keep it in your family. When the second brother died, they both died within a year of each other. And their inheritance to their kids were looking at breaking up that $6-7 billion and taking and running with it, right? But the old men were smart, and that's why they had billions. They stated that nothing can be broken up, nothing can be changed, but yet all the profit margin that they were taking and others were taking that's not part of salaries were to be put in a fund. And once that fund reached $1 billion, that was the inheritance. So the families had to work for 5 years to earn the profit margin of all the businesses above and beyond their salaries and regular things they got, a profit margin of $1 billion. And then they split that and they kept in the family the whole fucking business, all the land. Not one shark ate at it. sold it, belittled it, made it less appealing or anything. They kept their whole family's value by inheriting their wealth that way.
Nice. It's good to see the wealth transferred from generation to generation. It happened that way with farms
Well,
for so long.
you gotta. Well, it's not just farms. They had restaurants and stuff spanning off of it, and they used the farms as part of the produce for the restaurants, save money, and they worked the system and eventually got real big. But they didn't sell anything. And typically, I know when my dad died, I stayed far the fuck away because I knew my brother was going to be involved, and he damn sure was. And he brought lawyers, and it was like, if I was there, it was going to be a shark fight. So I just didn't show up. But that's what I see from everyone nowadays. Is usually it's like great white sharks hitting on a carcass, and nothing gets really preserved for the family's generational wealth.
Yeah, I think a lot of people get stuck into the middle class, and they are just
Make
struggling.
short-term decisions for survival.
Yeah,
There's this thing, and it's an old saying, and it's still true, but no one likes to hear it. Short-term pain, long-term gain. It's actually applicable in many different scenarios, from finance to personal issues in life. It's a general saying that's used because it's true. If you put off the short-term pain, it's just going to drag it out longer. It'll get over with, but take a lot longer. You're not going to be as prosperous. To where if you just get it over, it's like ripping the Band-Aid off, quick or slow. Quick's always more painful at first, but it gets over the pain quick and you're done with. Slow, you feel the pain for a couple minutes, Perspective.
okay, so here we're just charting out pretty short term, but we're comparing gold and silver price, checking out. Look at the correlation in there, right?
They're actually, once you see the correlation break, that's when silver is actually sprinting, as everyone has always said it should. They said gold runs and silver and platinum sprint. So like what you're seeing at the end of that, from like 21 to 22 at the bottom, whatever that is, that clock ratio, that looks like a good separation. That's going to be trendy, and that's what you want to see with a sprint. When it comes to metals, unfortunately, that means very volatile price fluctuations.
Oh yeah. So yeah, the whole idea of it possibly dropping to 40 or 50, I think it's totally possible. I don't actually think it's going to happen. And if it did, I think it would be very short-lived.
I think it's got a good floor at 68, but I ain't really looking at it.
Yep. No, I'd agree with that. I would have even said a little bit higher, like 70. But yeah, gold's definitely been the steadier runner. When the metals pull back, it doesn't pull back near as much as silver. We'll go back to the 1 minute. 1 minute. See how they're doing. Hey, we've got Ellie in the house. Welcome in, Elle.
Hey, how's it going, Ellie?
For anyone that just got here, I started out the live stream with an article from Kitco, and it was very bearish on silver, talking about how TD Securities is actively shorting the silver market as we speak, and their target on it is $40. They are shorting it down to 40. That's the target, and they've got a stop loss at 92 for in the event that they're wrong. That's how it was reported by.
That's a good sign. That's the volatility I was just talking about, and you're seeing the big guys leverage against such volatility. The swing in those prices was $52, man. That's more than their low of silver by $12. That's wow.
But it can totally happen. If you go through history, like gold's even had
Mhm.
a few periods where it's dropped like 40%. It didn't last very long. But yeah, I definitely recommend people keep some cash on the side if you can, and take advantage of the buying opportunities when you see especially when you see the big smackdowns, which inevitably are going to happen along the way.
Yeah, I don't know what to tell people about that. I mean, we've been talking so long when it was in the 20s and high 20s, and even before, possibly in the teens, to buy. So only the new people are experiencing these high prices. You know,
That's true.
most people have been in this community have been in it a while.
Yeah. Yeah, anyone that's just starting, I definitely would be very, very careful about buying, you know, when it's just running like crazy like that. You know what I mean? Wait for it to have a pullback of
I would do
some.
a lot of research.
Look at this, like just between um, January 6th and today, it dropped basically 12%. You know, so anyone that that bought a couple hours ago, if they could still get the same, price, if they could get it at say two over or whatever over spot, just got a 12% discount on that.
Yeah, price fluctuations, man. This is
Look
that's
at it.
why local coin shops quit buying.
And why they're saying now anything we sell is going to be like 10 over spot, and we're buying
Premiums.
at 10 under spot.
Yeah, just like last time when premiums went up, but we all don't think about it. When it went from like 30 to 40, premiums were like $15 on the Eagles. Everyone was bitching about it. You remember those? This is just a repeat, but what happened to silver after that? It jumped like a month or two after that. So
Yeah.
seeing higher premiums is just an indicator of future higher prices for that in particular metal from recent history, anyhow.
Mhm.
Is what it is.
It's
It's the
volatile.
people that are buying from you now making their money back so they can buy it back from you later at a higher price and not go out of business. No one thinks of that angle of the silver market. Everyone wants to, oh, just buy. Well, I'm going to go out of business if I do that. Now we got to play the game so I stay in business so you have someone to sell to.
Yeah, you think the mere awareness of a short would be an automatic bull. I think a lot of it's paid
Dude,
propaganda, to be
that
honest.
range, they've got a bigger range for their low to high on that short than the price that they indicate as a low. That is on its own. I've never heard that before.
Yeah.
Not that
Yeah.
I'm that old or I've researched it that well, but that seems not like an anomaly to me personally. I'm gonna have to research that, see if it's ever happened in history.
Yeah. Yeah. The premiums for buying are going way up, and the buyback um, seems to be dropping
Slowing
back. But it
down,
depends. Like if you shop around, you can get good deals still on the buy and the sell. You
but you got to look around,
around.
which means the market is giving the local coin shops an opportunity to make money so they can stay in business and buy it at a higher price later.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't mind the local coin shop making some money. You want them to be around.
Indeed.
You know? Uh, Sometimes it can feel like they're gouging, though.
Well, yeah,
That's just you're kind of, if you really like to patronize a local coin shop, you're kind of like a passenger you know, on a
on
little
their
boat,
boat.
a little boat in the ocean. So
Exactly. You don't like it, make your own boat.
yeah, when it's hitting you, like that's probably a good way of looking at it. Is when you feel it's hitting you, you know it's hitting them.
And that's
Unless
why you need to
they're just
establish a
pure greed.
relationship.
So yeah, yeah, relationship makes a big difference.
I know my guy's not buying silver, but if I walk in there, he'll buy it from me. He just won't buy it in from the people who just randomly come in. He's not going to do that. He even told me, because there was another guy in there. He goes, "I'm not buying silver right now." And then the guy left. He goes, "What do you got, Neil?" I was like, "Yeah, I knew you were playing," but that's because I have a relationship with him. But he didn't buy from the other guy. Dixie, be nice.
I wanted to take this back to 2020, where that big drop happened. That's going back to 2020. So since 2020, silver's up 507% and gold is up 197.
There you go. That's a 5x differential in run up. Yeah. So silver's obviously been the better purchase from back before 2020, which a lot of people who are in our community were in it before then. Several were not, but they were still got in at the 30s, and that's at 70, 30, you're still over 100, 150%, 140%, 30%, something like that.
So you actually, according to this, you actually have to go back to 2012 to have done better than in gold than in silver. And then as you go back further, gold just better and better. That's as far as I'm looking.
Yeah, for as far as history, because silver used to be like $1, probably in like the 60s and 70s.
Yeah.
Man, that's where I really kicked myself in the butt. When I was 3 years old, I should have got a job and started buying silver. Instead, I was just getting out of pooping my pants. What a dumbass.
Well, it happens because you're comparing it to fiat currency. And as long as that fiat currency is devaluing, even though you seem like you missed it,
the thing is,
going to happen anyway.
When I was 3 years old is when they invented the fiat currency back in 1971.
Mm-hmm. Thanks, Space Miner. I just kind of made that up. I was almost going to say, feels like you're on the minnow there, right, with the Gilligan's Island. It depends, that's local coin shops, and I know some of them are, just tiny little hole in the walls, and others are pretty decent, and then you've got your online dealers, which tend to be, more the luxury cruisers.
Profit margin driven.
Even they're going to feel the waves, right?
I was working with one coin dealer on the East Coast back in late 2022, and I had convinced him to start increasing, and this is how I found out how most coin businesses work as far as the margins. He had to sell to increase the number he had. So I was trying to talk him into buying more platinum, because I saw back then what's happened now, and it was like $700-800. And I was saying, you need to get more. You need to have more in stock at a lower price, because it's going to jump. And I saw how they had to take and sell like 2 to be able to have the profit off of that asset class, to be able to buy 3 to increase their inventory. And the way the business is, and I found out how coin shops and the coin business runs at that point in time, and they are on tight margins. I'm glad I talked him into it, because he did increase his inventory of platinum, which means his margins are a lot better now under the volatile times, and he'll probably stay in business because of it. But not many people did that.
Well, I'm seeing a lot more bullion dealers carrying, or at least attempting to carry platinum, and talking about it in the last year or two than I ever did before. I'm just hearing more.
I hate to take credit for that, but I think I've talked Rick Rule into liking it. Andy Sheckman still doesn't like it, but I've talked to him about it. Chris Marcus, who's that guy? James Anderson. I've talked to all those guys about platinum back in 2020. Yeah, whenever Silverfest was Silverfest 2, I was a impromptu host of Silverfest, which was online because of COVID. It might have been 2020, and I met all of those guys. What's his name? David Morgan, and a couple of the miners for the owners of this guy Guadalupe, I think is his name, something like that. He owns one of the miners that Chris Marcus was pushing at the time, Viper Miners or something like that. I met all of those guys back then. So, and talked to all of them about platinum. Back then, my saying was buy silver and platinum. because I was not introduced to crystallized osmium at the time.
I've seen that in the comments of some older videos that I've watched. You know, I go down the comments. There's Neil by Silver and Platinum.
Yeah, that was before I got it. I didn't get introduced to crystallized osmium until about 6 months after I was Economic Ninja's moderator, and we went to the Silver Symposium, and Ian Everand was there, and I did my first interview for my channel with Ian, and it was crystallized osmium and silver.
Hey Gerald, good to see you. We've got Gerald Draper in the house. Right
What's
now,
up, Gerald?
just checking out silver's being charted on the blue line, gold is on the darker line. Very, very short term. This is just 1 minute, but it's showing the volatility and the correlation in them. We did do a poll earlier, and the vast majority in the poll said they think that the silver price is going to trade in the range of 50 to 100 for a while, as opposed to dropping below 50 or busting through 100 anytime soon.
I don't know if you saw a video, because I know you did it live when you thought it was going to hit 80, and it got up like 79, 90.
Yeah.
I think 2 days after that, it hit 80, and I did a live because I noticed you didn't do one. So I was like, well, I'm going to hop on and do it live because it's hitting over 80 right now.
Good. Hey, no worries, man. No worries at all.
Kind of stealing your glory. You went with it, but it didn't happen on your.
It's not copyrighted, and I think probably someone's used that analogy before too. But yeah, I could see you doing some good visuals with that. You can animate it a bit. Hey TM, we've got Tim in the house. Good to see you. So I wasn't even planning on going this long. I just wanted to cover the information that I did at the very, very beginning. I guess what I could bring up here too, because we already covered how TD Securities is shorting the silver market. The other thing that we've got here is Scotia. For anyone that's may or may not be familiar with Scotiabank, that's another one of Canada's top 5 banks, and they got out of the precious metals market back in 2020, and they shut down their entire precious metals trading desk, and they got their arses handed to them because they were shorting silver. Now we just, at the beginning of this live stream, I read an article where TD Securities is shorting silver. But here we go. Bank of Nova Scotia is planning to revive the metals trading desk it dismantled at the peak of the pandemic, according to people familiar with the matter. Canadian Bank hired recruiters to reach out to commodities traders, sales specialists, and strategists to staff the unit, said the people, who declined to be named, discussing private information. All we know is TD and Scotia are going to be actively shorting silver now, in my opinion. The new desk will trade, lend, and hedge raw materials, including precious metals and base metals, with an initial focus on the former. Initial focus, yeah. The people added. Scotiabank didn't respond to a request for comment. The move follows record-breaking rallies in gold, copper, and silver that have renewed interest in the metals trade. President Donald Trump's disruptive tariff agenda has generated lucrative arbitrage opportunities for copper, spurred price spread trading that drew billions of dollars of bullion to the U.S. and triggered a historic silver squeeze in the London market in October. The bank shut its historic precious metals in 2020 as the coronavirus pandemic upended their supply chain for physical gold, and after U.S. investigations, this is a Canadian bank, and after U.S. investigations into the unit's trading activities, that put an end to what was once one of the world's top gold trading businesses with a history dating back to the 17th century.
Sweet.
They're getting back into it. I'll drop the link to that off mining.com. Mining.com. Hey, Deplorable, welcome in.
Good to see you, Deplorable. I didn't want to say hi as JM was reading, brother. Sorry.
Thanks.
What's
man.
up, Pete?
What did I miss, Pete?
Yeah, Pete and Repeat came in.
Hey, Pete. Good to see you. Sorry I missed you there.
Pete, I
think
mean
I
Pete.
said everything else. Yeah. You can repeat. You can repeat it again if you want.
Pete, I mean Pete.
So we got 20 people in here. I think I should redo that poll again, especially if 79's still here.
Add a special area just for her to respond.
Yeah. We'll do one more poll here.
I mean, everyone should be happy with the silver price at 70. Damn.
Oh yeah, it's good for anyone that's bought, and this big volatility can be good for anyone new wanting to get in. They just got to be careful not to, be buying in at the peaks.
Well, this also is another reason to think about possibly pulling some of your profit margin out. Because if it does go down, you say that one was between 40 and 92. If it does go down, that's your profit margin. So if you get rid of maybe 25% of your initial investment and it does go down, keep that money aside and you can buy back and increase your initial investment at least. But if it does go down and stay there, you won't have to wait another 45 years to get some of your profit back or some of your initial investment back in the form of profit. That's a thought process, not that it's a good or a bad one. It's just a thought process.
Okay, let's fire up this poll. You guys can, you're all welcome to participate in this poll. We can bring that back up too, I think.
I think
We're
79
starting
is five
slowly,
or
the
six
target is
votes.
60. Well, that's at least more optimistic than TD Securities. Their target's 40. Wow.
Yeah, it's a split poll. A lot of people are going to do 79s just because it's funny.
Yeah. That's okay.
I know I did. So I'll admit it. But I actually think it'll stay between 50 and 100. As I said last night on the live or the night before that, I think it'll stay sideways for a while. A little up, little down, a little up, little down, sideways then basically.
My guess is that it is going to trade in this range of not 50 to 100, but I'd say, 65 to 80. Right?
Yeah.
70 to 80 even, for a little while, and then it's either going to have a flash crash and drop, maybe to 50 or 60, and then it's going to take maybe 3 or 4 months, and then it'll probably go up to about 120.
That's a good estimation.
That's the bearish outlook, in my opinion. The more bullish opinion is it's just going to go sideways for a couple weeks, and then it's going to take off again.
And that's my opinion, but it's also a good opinion, as good as your first one. One thing I would suggest looking at is I've noticed from last year and what I've heard this year is Mexico shut a lot of mines down, and they only reopened a couple. And those were ones owned by a few American companies. Their own mines were shut down and have been shut down, which adds to a shortage. And China is no longer allowing silver out of their nation, which is increasing the quote-unquote shortage. So it's not an actual shortage of there's not enough on the planet. It's a shortage of geopolitical reasoning. So the charts
needs to go.
The chart shift, or the fundamentals of the chart shift from it being, do we have enough? How much are we using? What's it worth? Use case, all this other stuff, to more geopolitical maneuvering of that country and the position they're looking to gain by their move. And you got to consider that nowadays as well as just price action. Because if Mexico opens up 3 or 4 silver mines, some of the most productive silver only mines in the world tomorrow, what's going to happen to silver price? That's all I'm saying. It all depends on the geopolitics of that country and China. They're the ones that are causing the price to go up right now, in my personal opinion.
Well, and the first article that I read was indicating that it was talking about tariffs, and it was saying that the U.S. is already starting to hang on to their silver supply, and they're not exporting their silver supply at this time.
Yeah,
It's
it
staying at
makes
home.
sense.
So I think, what do you call that? Nationalizing, or
Yeah, it's a
everyone's
type
going
of
to start
nationalizing.
hoarding their own, and the countries that don't mine any and don't have their own could end up being really scrooged.
I said this a little over 2 years ago. What the future charts to be running off of is new trade agreements and treaties. And with every country is doing it. I don't know if you're aware of this, but the Sahel nations of Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger, it's no longer legal to enter that country if you're an American. Isn't that interesting? No one talks about that. But so the geopolitics, they put out a lot of gold. And also, by the way, they took a Barrick's mine, one of the largest gold miners in the world. It now doesn't belong to Barrick. The Barrick gets like 6 or 7% of their gold holdings from the mines in Burkina Faso and Mali and Niger. They no longer do that, and so that would also be reflective in the gold price going up. That was largest producer of it's 7% short because it was taken over by a country. So I say geopolitical reasons make prices during this time because every country is nationalizing and trying to secure their own future, coming up with new trade agreements and treaties with other countries to secure the minerals that they don't have in their country. And that's kind of sort of what's been going on.
I'm just adding platinum to the mix here now. Do you want your platinum to be green or red?
Red, because it's going to be on fire soon. By 2027, late 2027, it's going to be 4,000, 5,000 bucks. Hello again, Ellie Ellie.
I may have to make the gold a little more goldish.
What's up, Shadow? Shadowworks entered.
Hey, Shadow Work, and everyone else I missed. Tough to see the gold in there now, but it's there. And this is the minute by minute action. Platinum being charted out as the red, silver's the blue, and gold is the yellow. If we look on a longer term basis,
Just know the precious metal cycles run long. It takes a long time for them to play out. And that gives more opportunity for a lot of people to meddle. Meddle with the metal.
yep.
Good night, Space Miner.
Take it easy, Space Miner. See you later. Have fun with that visual. Can hardly freaking see that gold line. I gotta make it a little bit darker. There we go. Okay, so very cool. Was there anything else you wanted to go over, Neil, while we got this going?
Absolutely not. I'm just here to give someone else for you to talk to while you're talking your stuff to reinforce your talking points and add mine.
Okay. Yeah, I've pretty much covered what I wanted to cover there. I think silver price is probably going to go sideways for a month or two. It's going to trade in that range of, I think it'll be between 70 and 80 for a couple weeks. And then we'll see it creep up to 90, and then we'll see it creep up to 95. And then I'm going to have my live stream, which I've actually tagged to the end of this live stream. It should show up. I've already got it set up for when we hit $100 silver. So if you didn't check that out, go to my live tab on my channel, and you'll see I've already got my live stream set up for when we hit $100 silver. Hope to see everyone there. And yeah, Neil, did you want to chat backstage there for a minute?
Certainly, sir.
Okay, I'm going to shut her down. Have a good night, everybody, and Stay well. Hey, Ominous Rooster, sorry you just missed it. I read a couple articles that were kind of bearish on silver, but I gotta end this poll. I'm glad you came in there because that reminded me. Let's end this poll.
Yeah.
Well, so the poll ends with 21 votes. Where is silver headed? 36% saying above 100, 14% below, 41% saying a range of 50 to 100, and 9% said for 79 it's going to zero.
So that only means 79 voted for zero. I helped you out, 79.
No, I think two people.
Well, no, her and I, two people.
Oh, because you voted for that too?
Yeah.
There you go.
So that's two people. Out of solidarity.
Okay, folks, have a good evening. Have a great balance of the week. We're almost on the weekend. We'll see you soon.